Okay, well, joining us now, we're getting some more reaction from top local law enforcement leaders after the escape from the Orleans Parish Jail overnight. 9 remain on the run.
And joining us now is Orleans Parish District Attorney Jason Williams. Thank you so much, DA, for joining us. You know, we've been talking about when people have been notified about this escape, and I know a lot of elected leaders have their opinions, the public having their opinions. How do you feel about the timeliness of this notification, and when were you notified?
It is completely unacceptable. I found out from my friends in the media at about 11:05. I am angry professionally and personally. I personally prosecuted one of these individuals, asked for a life sentence. We had to try the case 3 times. He was engaging in witness intimidation throughout all of those 3 trials. But the lawyers who tried that case with me, we all went from our car into the DA's office this morning, not knowing that these individuals were on the run. You all are very close to the jail as well, right? I mean, people do very desperate things when they're escaping. I'm livid.
And like you said, you are located very close. If anybody's going to be notified first, it would be you. You're right next door. What are your concerns right now for those folks who have been witnessed in these cases that are pending? Or what do you say to them? Because they are concerned at this hour, and you are very familiar with these individuals.
So when we found out, I immediately reached out to the chief of my victim witness advocate program, and they have been working very expeditiously to get in touch with every single witness that has played a role in the case that was prosecuted or was planning on playing a role of a prosecution that was coming up. We've contacted all of them. We've relocated those folks who wanted to be relocated, who were scared. Obviously, these individuals don't want to go back to jail, and if they can hurt or intimidate a witness who is prepared to testify against them, I would not put it past them. All of them should be considered armed and dangerous. And I don't know what it takes for there to be a state of emergency. Everyone needs to be on notice in the city of New Orleans this Friday and moving forward until these individuals are back in custody.
And just quickly here, DA, again, authorities investigating how this happened. Was it an inside situation? Who do you think, from what you know so far, should be held accountable right now?
I think as it stands right now, there can be no faith and confidence in the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office.
Do you think she should step down?
I don't know how she can continue, given the fact that they provided information in a press conference that they know the person's escaped at 1:06. How do you know that? And if someone knew that, why didn't they wake her up and alert her of that so she could let the public know at 1:10? Time is of the essence. It's not about a perfect press release. It's not about a perfect statement. It's not about CYA. This is about letting the public know there's danger. If there's a wolf on the lamb, people need to know about it. Villagers need to know about it. In this situation, there are 10 wolves on the lamb. The public should have been notified immediately. She found out at 9. The press conference wasn't until 11. I don't understand. I mean, there's breakdown after breakdown after breakdown, and I don't think we can be confident in an internal investigation. I think it's going to require a grand jury inquiry to know whether there were citizens or deputies who were involved in making and allowing this escape to happen.
And for everyone this weekend, everyone's got to be on alert. I mean, you've got a wife, you've got a little son, other kids as well. I mean, everyone this weekend, I would imagine, as you have stress, need to be vigilant. This is the situation we're in. We
have to be. I mean, unfortunately, because of the failure to ring that alarm, these individuals could be past Georgia, past Texas. They could have they had a very serious head start. So they could be anywhere, but they could also still be right here in this community. And that is a dangerous situation. I have a good friend of mine who sent me camera footage from their home, and they saw 3 of the individuals walking past their home close to the Rouse's supermarket. Everyone could have been doing that this morning and overnight, but the sheriff took the opportunity away from the public to be a part of getting these individuals back in custody by not letting us know what was going on.
And that video, did you pass that along?
Yes, we're getting the whole download. We're getting it to the U.S. Marshal Services. We're getting it to the state police. We're getting it to the NOPD, whom I called at about 11:13, and they had not received a formal request from the sheriff at that time.
Did the person tell you the video that they got of these 3 individuals, you believe, are 3 of these escapees? Were they still wearing their orange jumpers, or were they wearing something else?
In the still shot that I saw first, they were wearing what would appear to be gray sweatpants and gray clothing. I don't know if that was from clothes that they changed out of. I recognize one of them because it's the individual I prosecuted.
And when you see that first person's face that you recognize, what comes to mind immediately? Because you recognize one of them.
You know, I mean, this is an individual who has been convicted of murders, walking past in the alleyway of people that I have dinner with, that I socialize with. Then they weren't running, they were walking, which raises all sorts of concerns about when they thought the public was going to find out about this.
And the DA, just like quickly before we leave, and to our viewers out there, what would you tell them right now? People who may be nervous, may have questions about our law enforcement leaders right now because of this huge escape. This is not small.
I've never heard of 10 inmates escaping from a jail or prison in my 52 years on this planet. This is a very big deal. This is not a shining moment for the city of New Orleans, and everyone should be on high alert until all of these individuals are back in custody.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
DA Jason Williams, appreciate
guys.
you coming in. Thank you. So we are also hearing from another top law enforcement. Attorney General Liz Murrill says the goal now is to find the remaining escapees on the run, but she's also calling for an investigation over how this happened.
I would like to know whether anybody on the inside was involved in any capacity whatsoever, whether that was official or other inmates. I'd like to know who on the outside was involved, if there were people on the outside that were involved. And I'd like to be able to sort of evaluate how much time it took for this scheme to be put in motion, and what other indicators there might have been that it was in motion that were missed. And all of that needs to be very carefully evaluated so that we can change the system.
The Attorney General, she also says that while the number of people housed at the Orleans Parish Prison has been an issue for more than a decade, she says there is still protocols and common sense security when you run a prison system. And we're learning more about the timeline of the 10 that escaped from the Orleans Parish Correctional Center.
Jacob Bradford, he is live for us in Mid-City right now.
Well, yeah, Lauren and Liz, we're actually in the 3rd floor of our new building that just so happens to point at the Orleans Parish Correctional Center that's right behind me, and that's where those inmates were able to cross the interstate. But here is a brief timeline of what exactly happened this morning. So all of this started just after 12:20 when those 10 did escape. Now, the inmates were able to break open a cell door, that's according to the sheriff, and escape through a hole in the wall that was behind a toilet. There was someone that was watching the cameras, but 3 of those cameras were down. Around 1 this morning, that's when they scaled the wall right behind me and were able to cross the interstate. There was actually, according to a source of ours that told our Gabby Killett, that there was people that saw inmates or people that were in orange jumpsuits that were crossing the interstate. Now, this is all being looked at as a possible inside job. The jail did not realize that they were missing until about 8 this morning. That's when they go through and have their head count. Sheriff Hudson says that she found out at about 9 a.m. She says that she was told that NOPD and other law enforcement partners were notified when she was asking if, the marshals, the U.S. Marshals, were told about this. She says at 9 a.m. when she found out, she was told that, yes, NOPD, the marshals, and all of their law enforcement partners were notified. Now, us here at Fox 8, we were told about what was happening when a source told us at about 10:15 this morning. Then NOPD notified the public at 10:50 through an email with the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office having their first press conference at 11 o'clock this morning. Now, that was about the same time that the first inmate was caught on Royal Street in the French Quarter. Now, a little while ago, we did go through Mid-City because that's where, the OPP, or the Orleans Parish Correctional Center, is located. And we were able to talk to a few people, and we'll have those coming up in a little while. But they told us that they're not worried because they say that danger is pretty much everywhere in New Orleans. Their head is always on a swivel. And so they even said that there's always corruption that's around. So they are always vigilant when they are out, and they said that it's no different if those inmates hadn't escaped or if they had. But we'll have a little bit more coming up with the public later on. Liz and